Okay, let's look at problem 1 here. This is sheet 7. And what we have is a D latch, right? And this is a latch which is a gated latch. So, which means that it is a level triggered D latch. Now, remember how a D latch works? Q becomes equal to D when E is 1, okay? Or when E is high. So if this gating signal is high, Q basically follows D, and if E is low, then Q just maintains the same value till the time that it goes on. Okay, so let's try to um, get the Q for this. Um, so let me draw with red. So initially, let's say Q is 0. Okay, now the gating signal becomes 1 only at this point. So till then, even though there is a change in A here, it is not going to influence the output. It's going to be 0, right? And then it becomes 1 at this point, and then it remains 1 till this point. Now at this point, the gating signal is still 1, which means that Q is following A, right? This input A. So it follows this. It goes down, and then at this point the gating signal becomes 0, but the 0 is just maintained at the output, and the gating signal again becomes high at this point. But since A is 0, it does not make any difference to the output. And then at this point we have the A becoming high, and you can see that the gating signal is also high, therefore our output will become high, right? And then at this point the gating signal becomes 0, but since the input A is still high, we just hold on to high, and we hold on to high till this becomes 1 again at this point. Okay, and at this point we can see that the signal is still high, so it continues to be high till we go to this point where A becomes 0. So if A becomes 0, Q also becomes 0, right? And it continues to remain 0 till this point, right? It becomes 0 here, but if it is 0, you just maintain the 0 that is here, you continue with that. It becomes 1 at this point, but at this point A is 0, so it continues to be 0 till A becomes high, and at this point it becomes high again. So that's what Q looks like. And Q bar, of course, is exactly the opposite of Q, so you can just uh, draw the exact opposite of Q and you should be all right. Okay, so the basic idea here is as we talked about right at the beginning, right? If E is high, Q is equal to D, and if E equal to low, then Q is maintained, or we could write it as Q Qn plus 1 equal to Qn, or Q plus equal to Q. So it just maintains the value. So you can write it either this way or this way, whatever you want. Okay, and if E is high, Q is equal to D, and in this case, we have D is basically A, isn't it? So the signal is called A, not D. So let's write. I'm trying to erase this D. Huh, interesting. Anyway, so this is basically A. So let me write it this way. Okay, hopefully that makes sense.